This is the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief, keeping you informed about the happenings in Annapolis and the area. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and of course, local weather. The Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Wednesday, August 14th, 2019. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Circuit Court Chief Judge Ronald Silkworth is calling it quits. Yes, he turns 70 at the end of the month on August 27th, to be specific. And according to Maryland's Constitution, he's out. He needs to retire by the time he is 70, and he has put in his notice there. So now we can let the posturing for our next Circuit Court judge begin. The two top contenders that we're hearing are Rob Thompson and former state's attorney Wes Adams. So what happens next on this? Well, any Maryland admitted attorney can run. They fill out an application, and there is a nominating committee that will review and interview all the candidates. From that, they will create a small list, which they will give to Governor Hogan, and he will appoint one judge to fill the seat. Now, that judge will only sit on that bench until the next judicial election. In this case, it's going to be in 2022, at which point he does need to run in an election, which likely would be contested, to get a full 15-year term. Politics. Hey, the Anne Arundel County Police were searching for a pit bull dog on August 12th, and they have found it. They say that the pit bull did actually bite a child near Greenbury Court and Still Meadows Drive in Severn. The child did suffer minor injuries in the incident, was taken to the hospital. The dog is being evaluated, but the police are asking anybody that may have any information to give them a call at 410-222-8610. And by any information, that could be a witness to the bite, or if they know the dog, if the dog was aggressive, etc. Again, the number is 410-222-8610. And if you do have a dog, please be careful of the algae blooms that are happening around the state of Maryland. There are warnings out now about pet deaths across the country because of toxins produced by bacteria. Just yesterday, Anne Arundel County did issue a warning about the dangers of swimming in lakes with high algae content. And over in Montgomery County, they found elevated levels of microcystin. Now, microcystin can cause harm to the liver of humans and pets if ingested, and it's of a particular concern for dogs that are off-leash that may swim and drink from a lake or a creek. Here in Anne Arundel County, the Department of Health has reminded residents about the health advisory against direct water contact for Lake Waterford in Pasadena because of an algae bloom, and that's been in place since July 3rd, and it still does continue. Signs have been posted on the lake to warn visitors, but just beware that may be dangerous to your dog. There have not been any elevated levels of microcystin discovered there. That's not to say they can't be there. Better safe than sorry. Some sad news and sort of a follow-up to a story we did earlier about the osprey rescue on Greenbury Point over the weekend. The Moon Raptor Center has announced that the bird actually succumbed to its injuries. They thought it was pretty healthy when they brought it in, and in a statement they released on their Facebook page, they said, unfortunately, there was more to her condition that was visible, and sadly, she died suddenly and unexpectedly this morning, this being yesterday morning. Her symptoms, which came on rapidly, indicated she suffered from a condition called capture myopathy. Capture myopathy occurs in wild and domestic animals as a result of extreme exertion, struggle, or stress. In wild animals, it's often the result of human trapping or capture, but can be the result of other causes of extreme muscle exertion and stress, such as the entanglement. Now, if you'll remember, this osprey was found on the upper reaches of a tree, tangled in some fishing line hanging upside down, discovered by a boater. So, sad to see that osprey lost that fight. Here's another kind of fight. It's a retail fight. The home decor chain Gallerie has filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy again, and they will be closing their Annapolis mall store. Apparently, the Annapolis location is one of more than 24 stores across the country to be shuttered, and part of the problem might be is that I'm not sure anybody knew they existed. I'd never heard of Gallerie. All right, that's it for the top news today. Please make sure you're checking out eyeonannapolis.net throughout the day, because we do update it throughout the day. You never know what's coming down the pike. Click on that first link in our show notes and find out all the ways that you can connect with us. If you're someplace that you can give us a rating or a review, please do that. 5-star would be appreciated. And give us a recommendation to your friends and family and colleagues. Other than that, hang tight. We've got George Young with your local DMV weather forecast coming up, and he's here every day. But first, a little bit of a message about Kegs and Corks Beer and Wine Festival, which is coming up on Saturday. You're running out of time to purchase your tickets. You can get them, and when you purchase them at the Kegs and Corks website, you do get in a full hour early.
The 8th Annual Kegs and Corks Craft Beer and Maryland Wine Festival returns this Saturday to the Anne Arundel County Fairgrounds, featuring 15 breweries and 15 wineries. Sample over 80 Maryland wines and 40 craft brews from across the United States. Try delicious sangria, wine smoothies, hard ciders, spiked seltzers, or an ice-cold hoop tea, a perfect summer mix. Plus, shop great local vendors throughout the grounds. Tickets are available online at kegsandcorksfest.com and include a souvenir glass, unlimited samples of beer and wine, entertainment all day, and free parking. Early access tickets purchased in advance allow you to enter at noon for an extra hour of sampling. Live music by the Amish Outlaws and more. The 8th Annual Kegs and Corks Craft Beer and Maryland Wine Festival. This Saturday at the Anne Arundel County Fairgrounds in Crownsville. For tickets or more information, visit kegsandcorksfest.com. Proceeds benefit Special Olympics Maryland. Cheers.
Going out? You need the most up-to-date local weather. Here's George Young from DMV Weather in Annapolis with today's forecast.
Hey everyone, this is George with DMV Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Wednesday, August 14th. Yesterday turned out way differently than expected, and that was a very good thing, as temps stayed 10 plus degrees cooler than forecast, and severe weather never occurred thanks to a cold front, delivering some early showers and clouds in the skies above Annapolis. And because of that cold front pushing through to our south and east, temps will remain in the 80s today through Friday, but a chance of rain does persist each day as well, as overall skies along the east coast will remain unsettled. Beyond that, the weekend is shaping up to be a fairly nice one, with sunshine and more 80s, though a stray shower or storm can't be ruled out. Okay, that's it for today. This is George Young of DMV Weather. Make it a great day out there, and be sure to get our free app on all of your devices by searching for DCMDVA Weather in the Apple or Google App Stores. And also follow us on Facebook and Twitter and on our website at dmvweather.com so you can always stay weather informed.
Suicide prevention starts with everyday heroes like you. Join us Saturday, September 21st at the Navy Marine Corps Stadium in Annapolis as we walk to fight suicide. Be a part of the movement turning hope into action. Funds raised will benefit the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Register today at afsp.org/Annapolis. Together, we can help stop suicide. Go to afsp.org/Annapolis.
You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis. And also tell them about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. This podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m., keeping you informed with the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. And take a moment to listen to our other podcast, The Maryland Crabs, released every Thursday at noon.